moving swiftly on, empowerment. I think, personally, you can comment on this, empowerment is a prerequisite to being a leader. I think you need to be empowered. You need to be someone that's got that motivation, got that drive to be a responsible person, to be an example, to be at people's service, and to have taqwa. You need to be empowered. What words could you give us to empower many of the viewers watching? That why should that kid who's 17 years old get off his backside, in blunt terms, and actually go out there and achieve his goals? Why should he do that for? Because there's a lot of people, there's YouTubers, Mark Devella, Gary Vee, we've spoken about, many people like Tony Robbins. I actually haven't seen anything to do with Tony Robbins. People have spoken about, he's, I think, from the old times. But there's even modern day motivational speakers, some of the names we've mentioned, who constantly go on about don't be lazy, get up, wake up at 5 a.m. waking up, I cut out social media for 30 days and this is how it impacted me. But what's the point? Why should I do that for? How do we get empowered?
That's a deep question. I think the first thing we need to look at is, what I would say is that you need to realize, if you're that 17-year-old, that you are capable of things that you can't imagine. You cannot imagine, right? You cannot imagine it.
It's true.
And the truth is that you don't believe that you're capable of that stuff. But you know what the truth is? I believe in you. And all the people that been on that journey, they believe in you. When I was at school, I used to have you go parents' evening.
Yeah.
Do you know what teachers say to children when they're not doing well, to their parents? Because they can't say your child's dumb, man. Forget this one, get another one. They don't do that stuff, right? What they say is what they used to say to my parents. They used to say, "Oh yeah, he's his grades are not great. He's got potential," and it was used as a kind of a code word for saying, look, he might not do that well, but the truth is the potential that you have is crazy. And so if they can say that about someone like me, and then I can go off and do other things, so can you, right? And it's the same thing for you. Imagine yourself, Musa, you have doubts at 10 years old as a child growing up and this and that. Did you believe that you would have these followers that you have on social media? Did you believe you'd be doing this great dawah work?
No.
Did you ever believe that was possible?
No.
Even if I came to you at that young age and said, this is what's going to happen, you'd be like, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that's the case with many of our lives.
Yeah.
Many of us, subhanAllah. I mean, I mentioned Ustad Hamza, his example. I think his example and the example of every Reaver is an amazing example.
Yes.
You wouldn't have thought. The reason I mentioned Reaver is because as a born Muslim or Muslim, you know what I mean when I say born Muslim, born into a Muslim family, it's not shocking for you that at 10 years old you knew about Islam and now you're praying and you've grown a bit. It's not shocking. But for someone that grew up in a completely an environment we only see in movies. When we used to watch them, we would see it in movies. So and so and whatnot, they're having pork and I don't know whatnot, living a completely different lifestyle. You know what I mean? Yeah. Seeing someone change from that lifestyle to living like you and want to be like you and growing their beard and praying their salah, praying to God and remembering God and giving da'wah, calling other people to Islam. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And you see many reverts, specifically reverts in positions of leadership.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying to you, that it all starts at belief.
Yeah.
That someone coming along, and this is why it's so powerful when you have mentors and you have people that can actually help you, that they come along and they believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. I'll give you a very quick example, right? I was learning martial arts with a guy and we were doing kind of warm-up drills and stuff. And he said to me, okay, now's time, do a press up. And I'm like, bro, look at the size of me, man. Do you think I can do a press up? I can't do a press up.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean you can't do a press up? Get down and do a press up. And I said, no. So I had no belief that I could do a press up. Yeah. And I thought it's not possible, right? And he's like, no, I'm not taking no for an answer. You get down and I go, bro, I can't do a press. He's like, when was the last time you tried? And I was like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, actually tried it. He's like, get down and do a press up. I got down and I did a press up. And I was shocked. I was shocked because I put a limit on myself. Yeah. All these years, I'm too big, I can't do a press up. And it took one guy to come along and believe in me and go, you know what? You can do this. And I ain't taking no for an answer. And so when you believe in someone like that, and that's why leadership is so beautiful, because if you as a leader can take that time and that care to put it into someone else and raise them up because they don't believe in themselves, you will take people to the moon. And when they go there, they'll take others.
Yeah, Allahu Akbar. I think it's really inspirational. I think it's just about acknowledging your potential. You know, what you're speaking about, acknowledging your potential and really realizing there's many stories of many people who came from really bad backgrounds and they made it out and now they're here, you know, whatnot. You know, people like, for example, it's crazy. I don't know about this person's background, but like, I don't know, it just randomly came into my head. There's a basketball player. His name's LeBron James.
Yep.
Yeah. And I don't know what background he came from. I don't know if he came from a rough background, I'll be honest with you. But even if he came from, like, let's say a middle class background, imagine, he would never have imagined, I'll say this, I'll put it on the table, he would have never imagined that there's going to be a day, not I'm going to be an NBA player, fine, that's crazy maybe for him.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a day where I'm going to be out there, I'm going to have my own shoe, and Nike's going to give me a deal. Do you know how much his deal was worth?
No.
$1 billion.
Wow.
A lifetime
That's
deal.
a lot of money.
Lifetime sponsorship.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
That's crazy.
That's insane money.
Insane.
You would never imagine that. And now that's in terms of financial things. Even in terms of spiritual things.
Yeah.
You know, there's people I've seen. You know, there's someone, we read these stories all over the place. I was reading a student of knowledge. He studies. And he's currently in Saudi Arabia in a city called Qasim. So there's different places you can go and study. Qasim is known to be like a rough area in the sense where it's not like Riyadh and Jeddah and it's not like built up the way they are.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more, you know, a little bit more traditional in that sense where it's still got some years on it before it becomes like more modern like those cities. So he said, like, I remember I didn't have money for the bus, or I used to only have money for bus and food, and I used to eat, and I used to sit down, I used to read basic books in Arabic or what. I would have never imagined I'd be here, like studying on a proper serious level and be able to understand everything and whatnot. And that's how it is with everything. And I think the human mind is capable of things that are amazing. It just limits itself.
Yeah.
It limits itself, and that's partly shaitan as well.
Yeah, of
honestly.
course. Shaitan wants you to just sit there.
He's
and
an
do
opportunist.
Nothing. Yeah,
he's an opportunist.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And shaitan wants you to literally be behind and backwards and whatnot, and you just got to fight it. And